As a person living here in Germany, I can clearly say that Barack Obama stands out looking at the popularity Barack Obama has compared with other presidents who are still alive. And I could also imagine that Barack Obama is more popular than many other presidents. Lincoln is the most popular president from those experts I have heard, and still I could imagine that Barack Obama is more popular here in Germany than Abraham Lincoln. I have seen that many of you are interested in those videos where I draw a connection between American history and Germany. So therefore we will talk in this video about Barack Obama and why he is so popular here in Germany. Firstly, I have to say, I was 4 years old in 2008 when Barack Obama became President of the United States. Therefore, I do not remember anything at all. But what I am quite sure about is that not many Germans knew Barack Obama before, from his time as a senator, for example. I think his name firstly appeared here in Germany in connection with the 2008 election. And for a Democratic Party, 2008 was for sure a very good time to become popular also here in Germany. The Republican Party was in office and an economical crisis appeared. And for sure we could discuss how much responsibility the Republican Party has for this economical crisis. But whenever economical difficulties appear, the party in office will lose popularity and will also be made responsible for it. And the economical crisis also affected Germany. Therefore many people were probably in hope that the Democratic Party would take over in 2008. In my video about Reagan and his unpopularity here in Germany, check out if you want to, I saw the main responsibility with the German media. But in this case, I think other factors are more important. My impression is that Germans have preferred the Democratic over the Republican Party, at least since Kennedy, and anyway, it does not really make sense to look at the time much earlier than this. Decisive for this video is, however, comparing those Democratic presidents since Kennedy with Barack Obama. Firstly, there was Lyndon Johnson, and if you ask me, many Germans probably do not really remember him or remember much about him at all. I don't remember speaking any time with a German about LBJ. I think many Germans wouldn't like him because of Vietnam. That's a factor that would make him very unpopular if you ask me. There are certain aspects Germans would like about LBJ and his politics. For example, his healthcare politics. But in general, I think Vietnam would be a very, very big factor. But I can just repeat myself, I don't think that many Germans have an opinion about him at all. There is Jimmy Carter, who is remembered much better here in Germany, probably because he was still alive 2 years ago, much longer than LBJ, who already died in the 70s. But I can also say Germans did like him as a person, but I think the views go along with most experts, namely that he was a man of good intentions, but not more, and that he somehow lost control over foreign affairs. I'm not sure whether every German remembers the details, but I do think that many Germans remember what they in general thought of him. I think also Germans who weren't alive in the 70s have recognized somehow that he was never considered by experts as the greatest president ever. Talking about Bill Clinton will be a little bit difficult because some of my arguments I will use why Barack Obama is so popular could also be used for Bill Clinton. Therefore, we will firstly talk about Joe Biden. What can I say about Joe Biden? Many Germans were glad that Joe Biden became president in 2020, 2021, but mainly because of the fact that they wanted to get rid of Donald Trump. Many Germans looked at the situation like it's good he's gone, but weren't glad about the fact that he became president. Firstly, it was his age. This was criticized since the beginning. This was seen as a certain source of difficulties. I'm not sure whether every German knows that Joe Biden was Barack Obama's vice president, but yeah, Germans hoped that Biden would bring back the Obama era, but couldn't believe that he is the person to do so really, because I think much of Obama's popularity refers to his personality, and Joe Biden simply did not have this personality. What I wanted to show by comparing all the Democratic presidents is that Obama is the only president from the party that Germans prefer who did not do much that would disturb Germans. I do not include my own opinion here, so what I say can be my personal opinion, doesn't have to. And I think Germans can also identify with his politics, for example the Affordable Health Care Act. And my impression is also that sometimes the German media did not make a big deal of things Germans would disturb about. For example, I think that Germans who praise Obama very much often do not know the details about his immigration politics. Impression, not more, okay? But I think another very, very important factor is that Barack Obama's story works so freaking good. Before Barack Obama and after Barack Obama, we had two presidents who grew up very, very rich. George W. Bush and Donald Trump were men whose fathers created many chances for them. Looking at Obama, he seems to be the complete opposite. He grew up without his own father, indeed had a stepfather, but his family was anything but wealthy. Barack Obama is a man who started at zero and worked very hard, studied in Harvard, went into politics, became a senator, and the first Afro-American president in history. Imagine you were a director in about 50 years. Which story would you like to make? The man whose father was president and therefore he could become president as well, just like George W. Bush? Or would you make a movie about a man who started at zero and had to overcome dozens of resistances? Recently, James Garfield's story was brought to the screens, and someday Barack Obama's story will be brought to the screens as well. But then there's also Bill Clinton, who also did not grow up in wealth and was also a Democrat. If you ask me, Bill Clinton is mainly a president Germans do not really care about. I wouldn't say he's very unpopular, but he's also not very popular. You can like Obama or you cannot like him at all, but you have to admit one thing, namely that Obama is very charismatic. And if you ask me, also more charismatic than Bill Clinton. The thing might be the Lewinsky affair. Obama was quite good as presenting as a family man. Let's say Bill Clinton somehow fought for the image of a philanderer, and yeah, this Lewinsky affair wasn't the first time things like this came up. I heard that things like this from his private life were also discussed in his election campaign in 1992. But that's not the only thing at all. I think Obama was simply better at presenting that he sticks to his roots than Bill Clinton was. Do you agree? Do you know what I mean? Let me know in the comments, please. And if you are also interested in the opposite case I mentioned, namely Ronald Reagan, who was rather unpopular in Germany, then check out this video here. Thank you for watching.